Hi, I'm Jonathan Trowan. Welcome. I'm the founder of Austin Yoga Tree as well as the Self-Love Revolution. And this topic here is relevant to both. We hold these meditation classes here at Austin Yoga Tree. And afterwards, we have little talks about what comes up for people and how this practice can benefit people, not just here in the studio, but in their lives in general. And one of the issues that came up, one of the questions someone asked was, what do we do when someone else is really irritating us and they're just wrong? And we want them to understand what we're talking about, and it bothers us so much inside that the other person just doesn't understand. And their beliefs really burn us up. And obviously this is happening a lot today with people on the different sides of the political spectrum. It happens all the time, but even in close relationships this happens. And here's how I answered it. The first thing we need to do when we're faced with something we don't like or something someone says or believes that we don't like is to look inward. Our first thing we want to do often is look outward and force that other person to change. But first, we simply have to look at ourselves and notice the sensation we're feeling inside of our body. So we're really upset. Maybe there's your heart is beating and there's a heat forming inside of the chest. Or maybe it's something in the stomach. Maybe it's something in the throat. The first thing is to pause and look at what's happening in you. Because if you throw the force of your anger at this other person, you're not going to be changing anything. And by the way, this is also helpful if you're just responding to those Facebook posts, because you can be a little bit more invisible. So you'll just spew your point of view out on Facebook, which no one's listening to anyway, and they're only spewing their point of view. They're not really reading yours. And that anger just builds up and builds up inside of us. So the first thing is to pause and look at, okay, there's anger inside of me. This is how Thich Nhat Hanh phrases it, that I'm not angry. There's anger inside of me. So note your anger. Or whatever, sadness, whatever it happens to be. Just note it, observe it. And don't try and get rid of it immediately, but just let it be there. Have kindness and compassion for yourself that you are experiencing anger, sadness, irritation, frustration, whatever it is. Start with compassion for yourself. That will, if nothing else, it may not change the other person's mind yet, but if nothing else, it will make you feel better. It will begin to make you more peaceful. And isn't that what we all want? To live peaceful lives? Plus, when you have that, when you become peaceful inside, then perhaps you can begin a conversation with the other person. If you just go to them with anger, all it is you yelling, the other person yelling back and forth at each other, no one listening. With your compassion, go to the other person. Try and understand them, even if you don't agree with them. And by the way, just to be clear, I know that they are wrong. You are right, they're wrong. Let's just assume it. But we need to understand them. So with your compassion for yourself, perhaps then with some compassion for them, can you go and just say, I want to understand. I really don't understand how someone thinks this way. Can you help shed some light? So that causes their defenses to come down. And perhaps human beings begin to talk to each other instead of just yelling egos talking to each other. And if we can get human beings to, with compassion, speak to each other, we can change the whole dialogue that we have. And yes, it starts just one person or two people at a time. We have to begin to have compassion for each other and for the dialogue with each other. And another thing you have to understand is that you believe what you believe because you were programmed a certain way. The other person believes what she or he believes because they were programmed a certain way. People do change, but most people's religion are the religions of their parents. People convert, yes, but most people have the religion of their parents. Same with political point of view. Most people believe what their parents believed because they were programmed. So look at what you believe. Look at where it comes from. And it is right. They're wrong. You're right. And I'm wrong and I'm right. They're all wrong too. I get that. But if we can begin to understand, okay, this person believes what they believe simply because that's how they were programmed, that can change the dialogue. Listen more than you speak. If you listen more than you speak, you will begin to find that we actually have more in common with each other than we think. But it has to start with dialogue. And before the dialogue, it has to start with you. Bringing yourself into a zone of comfort, of calmness, and of peacefulness. Thich Nhat Hanh, one of the things he also said was, there is no path to peace. Peace is the path. If you're trying to fight your way, struggle, use your anger to create peace, when you get to where you want to get to, you will not have peace. You'll still be seeking. Peace is the path. So we create peace inside of us here first. And then we walk that path. And we bring that peacefulness. We shine that peacefulness to every person we touch. That's how we create change. And that's how we can deal with people when they believe or say something that triggers us, that we don't believe in, or that we struggle with. I hope that's helpful for you. If you're in Austin, visit us at Austin Yoga Tree. If you want to learn more about Self-Love Revolution, join the revolution so that we can really begin to make this world a better world for all of us. Join us at selfloverevolution.com. I'm Jonathan. Thank you. Namaste.